Dímelo, mi gente. What is up? And welcome back to another live interview here on Gonzalez Media TV. As always, I'm your host, Jose G, and we're here on Millions with my boy, Sean, the Muay-Thai Guy, Fagan, joining us today with a live interview. And I appreciate him joining us today. Make sure you give me that follow, guys, on Instagram, Facebook, and on TikTok at Jose G Official. And subscribe to the channel at Gonzalez Media TV. But today's not about me. Today is about the Muay Thai guy, Sean Fagan. How you doing today, Sean? Welcome to the interview.
I'm doing well. I appreciate you having me on and excited to just chat the shit and see how it goes.
Hey, yeah. So, Sean, for those that haven't followed your stuff, man, where can they follow you on social media? And tell us a little bit about your Muay Thai guy brand, man.
Well, you can, there it is, right? The Muay Thai guy. You can find me on Instagram at the Muay Thai guy. Pretty much anywhere you just Google Muay Thai guy, you'll probably end up finding me. And like I was saying before we started the interview, it's been a long journey and it's been quite interesting how it's all organically kind of come to what it is today. And I started it back in about 2012 when I initially started fighting Muay Thai. And it was initially just a way to document my journey and share it with my family and friends. And then one thing led to another. I started getting questions. I started posting tutorials, some fight blogs, and I decided early on that this was what I was gonna like dedicate my life to. And so, fortunately, it's worked out relatively well. And yeah, I'm fortunate to be in the position I am. So I'm grateful.
So before you even became a fighter and before you became a Muay Thai guy, right? What did you do before?
I did so many different things. Primarily, I waited tables. I was an ice skating instructor at
Whoa.
points. I was a baseball instructor. I was a lifeguard. I did a little bit of everything, trying to piece together what I wanted to do. I was also a personal trainer at times, and yeah, I just long story short, after college, I played a little baseball in college. There was no more competitive outlet for me, and
Mm,
I gravitated towards boxing and MMA initially because I was always a little fearful of confrontation of fighting. I was a little smaller growing up, so I never felt like I could really handle myself if something actually were to happen. And that insecurity really ate at me. And so I wanted to like test myself and see if I could actually learn how to defend myself. And organically, boxing led to MMA, MMA led to Muay Thai, and then the serendipitous amount of events kind of happened. I got fired from the job I was working. My lease was ending. My girlfriend broke up with me. Like all the
ah,
things kind of happened at
yeah.
once. But at the same time, I was also reading a couple books. One was called The Fighter's Heart by Sam Sheridan. And it was his story about traveling around the world essentially and learning martial arts. And his first stop was in Thailand. And I was like, that's so cool, like imagine doing something like that. And then at the same time, I won an online poker tournament for like 15 grand, which was fucking crazy. That was like, it is a lot of money, but when I was,
Uh-huh.
I think it was like 20, it was like life changing money. And so I decided at that point to just travel to Thailand and give it a shot. And so I was there for 3 months. I had 3 fights, and that was when I was like, all right, this is what I'm gonna fucking do. And that was it.
Fighters put it all on the line every time they step in the cage. But what happens if you get injured and can't fight? Here are 5 reasons every MMA fighter needs income protection. Let's go. Reason number 1, injuries happen. A lot. You train hard, but one bad kick, takedown, or submission, and you're sidelined for months. No fights mean no paycheck. Income protection keeps the money coming in while you heal. Reason number 2, fight purses are inconsistent. One fight, you're up. Next fight, you are out. There's no salary in MMA. Income protection ensures you always have money to cover your bills, even between fights. Reason number 3, medical bills stack up. Fight injuries aren't cheap, even with promotions covering some costs. Things like rehab, therapy, and daily expenses add up. Income protection helps you stay afloat. Reason number 4, you're your own business. No sick days, no workers' comp. If you can't fight, no one's cutting you a check. Protect your career like a business, because that's exactly what it is. Reason number 5, peace of mind equals better performance. When money stresses off your mind, you can focus fully on training, recovery, and winning fights. Less worry, more W's. Fighters, don't wait until it's too late. Fill out a financial needs assessment today to see what coverage works best for you. Follow for more financial game plans to protect your future.
That's awesome. Now, did you get the opportunity to go to Thailand, do any training over there?
Oh yeah, that was my first trip. So I went
That's
to
wild,
Thailand.
bro.
I trained there for 3 months, and then I had 3 fights. And honestly, it was after my third fight, which was a loss, where I was put up against a more formidable, experienced opponent, and it really put me into deep waters. But the fact that I was able to get up off the stool every round, even though I was like more tired than I could have ever imagined. It showed a lot about the growth potential that was there. So that became really addicting because I was like, wow, if I could like push through that, like imagine what else I could push through. And so after that, I just kind of became addicted to like growth more or less. And I was able to grow through Muay Thai. And then I was also able to read The 4 Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss and the idea
Love that book.
of
Love that book.
freedom, right? And outsourcing and online business more or less. I kind of put the two together with the fighter's heart and the 4 Hour Work Week, and I started the Muay Thai Guy blog. And then from there, like I said, I just kind of started as a had no, I barely still know what I'm doing most days. I just show up and do what I got to do. But yeah, I just kept at it, and fortunately, I had a good support team around me with my now wife, with my family, and everything. And even though most people thought I was crazy, I'm gonna start a blog and go fight Muay Thai in Thailand. Sounds a little nuts, but I I thought it was gonna be an interesting story, and sure enough, here I am.
Hey, yeah, it definitely does make up for a great story, man. It's not a good story. It's a great story because who
Thank you.
just does that? Who just, makes research, reads a book, finds out that this author was, training in Thailand and literally follows in the footsteps. And hey, now you have a successful business. You don't have to report to anybody. You're living the dream, Sean.
I very much am. Sometimes I have to like smack myself and remember that on my bad days. But yeah, I very much am. So thank you.
Oh man, that's amazing. So when you were training over there in Thailand, man, I mean, you're exposed to a whole new country, a whole new culture. What were like some of the biggest lessons you learned from the Thai culture?
Well, a lot of the ties are humble, and there's this whole idea of like saving face. You don't ever want to overreact or show too much emotion in life in general because it's shown as like disrespectful and just like you don't have control of yourself, and that's very contrasting from like the US, right? And everything here, like loud emotions and everything. The Thai people were very calm and very humble. And one thing I learned about fighting there is that it was just another day to them whenever they fought. It was these guys have like 300 plus fights, and like an inexperienced Thai fighter has like 50 fights, and it's nuts. And so the whole perspective that they had on fighting in the sport was completely different than like boxing and MMA in the US, and how it was really just like it was essentially a poor person's sport because usually the rural ties out in the farmland and everything, they're able to provide for their families by fighting on local shows when they're like 7 or 8 years old. And so they get into this routine, and then Bangkok and big gyms and like the main cities source them, and then they're militarized essentially into training Muay Thai all day, every day. And so that's why they're the best in the world when it comes to Muay Thai. And it's just gives you perspective on like how good we have in the US and how lucky I am to fight because I want to, not because I have to. And so that was really insightful, and I'm grateful that the Thai people have always been like so welcoming, and it's yeah, it's a home away from home. We spent we lived there for a little over 4 years during COVID and everything, and before
Wow.
that, I would travel there almost yearly, and so yeah, we're excited. We're planning on a trip to come back soon, but it's a little bit different. We have kids now, and so life changes, right?
How old are the kiddos?
Well, one is he's about to turn 3, and then we're expecting another
Whoa.
one in a month, and so it's
Oh,
gonna be
congratulations, man. Such a
same here.
blessing, Sean. That's
Thank you,
amazing.
thank you.
Oh man. So you've been growing this brand, Muay Thai Guy. It's blowing up. You even have like retreats. I was checking out your website, man. You got retreats over to Costa Rica. You're doing yoga. You're doing Muay Thai. You're doing surfing, man. Talk to me about these retreats. Like what? Like, give me just a little preview on what a person could experience on a weekend retreat with the Muay Thai Guy.
Well, our Costa Rica retreats are the main ones that we do, and we've been doing them since 2015, maybe.
Nice.
And it just started as a random idea because the resort Jungle's Edge down in Costa Rica just reached out to me about the idea of hosting a Muay Thai retreat. I didn't think I was like, there's yoga retreats, right? But I
Oh,
didn't think
yeah,
about the
right?
Muay
Yeah.
Thai retreat.
I
And
kind
I'm
of
like,
want
all
to
right.
go to one of your retreats now, bro.
Yeah, there's so much fun. It's like adult summer camp. Like you get
Nice.
the punch and kick each other, and then you eat fucking amazing food. You get to drink and have fun on the beach, go surfing. Everything's taken care of. That's like the coolest thing is that it's all inclusive pretty much, besides like the flight and a couple minor expenses. But everything, the food, the training, the shuttles to and from the airport, like you name it, is kind of done for you. And so you can kind of pick and choose how much training you want to do, how little training you want to do. And it's so much fun, man. Again, it's like something I have to like slap myself and be like, I can't believe when I'm down there, like this past year with my wife and my son, and we're just like teaching Muay Thai and yoga and going to the beach and everything. I'm like, I can't believe this is my life sometimes. And yeah, these retreats are so great because so many people like to do an active vacation, not one where you're just kind of sitting around and just drinking beers on the beach. And that has its time and place, but there's something about earning it, and having some type of learning experience on vacation, which makes it that much more valuable. And so ever since I traveled to Thailand and did that for myself, I'm so grateful that I'm able to do that for others. And we've done some in Greece, we've done some in Spain, uh, and a lot in Thailand. But now with the family and just the ease of it for us, the Costa Rica one is the main one that we're doing because it's pretty easy on our side and it's so much fun.
That's amazing, man. So I want to talk a little bit about your career because I was reading about a notable win, and that is that you won a major title. I'm assuming that's the title you have in the back there at
Yes,
Madison Square Garden
yeah,
at
yeah.
the world's most famous arena. I love this arena, and I think that's a huge deal for any fighter to win a major title at that arena. So, what was that like, man?
Unreal. Just like you saying that is like so fucking nuts, man. Because I grew up in New York, and MSG. I'm a huge Ranger fan. Been there, Ali Frazier, you name it. So many big things happened there. I didn't fight in like the main stadium, right? We fought in the theater, but nonetheless, it was such a crazy experience. And the fight leading up, so it was a rematch actually, and it was for my first amateur title. And the fight before was a really close fight, and I broke my foot in the first round, so I had to box a lot. And so
Oh,
with tie scoring, kicks and everything typically score more than boxing. And so my opponent thought he won. I thought I won, but they were like, you know what? Why don't you guys have a rematch at MSG on this promotion? We're like, all right, that sounds amazing. At the time I was working as a martial arts instructor as well, like a kids martial arts instructor down in Westchester. And I didn't really have, I had a coach and I had like some training partners, but majority of my training leading up to the fight was like 90% of it was done by myself on the heavy bag or running or strength and conditioning. I got a little sparring in, a little pad work in here and there, but I was able to kind of create my own progressive program training camp that led to that fight. And to see it all, that was honestly, I had 35 fights, and I would say like 3 of them, I felt like that was a good, like I did fucking good. That was one of them. And fortunately, it was at Madison Square Garden in front of all my family and friends. And then I ended up winning in the 5th round with a TKO. And so it was just like, it's like storybook, and now just watching the UFC fight there, I've seen a couple of my friends who have trained with in Thailand fight at MSG as a fellow New Yorker, and it's just I mean, they fight on like on the big stage, and so I can't even imagine what that's like. But yeah, feels like a lifetime ago because it was like I don't fucking know now.
so Sean, what do you got right now in the books, man? Do you have anything lined up as far as fights? Are you still keeping active as a pro fighter, or are you just concentrating on the Muay Thai Guy brand, growing that, and just becoming more of a businessman?
Yeah, I retired from fighting back in during COVID. I think like 2021. This poster was my last fight, and that was I think 2021. Because like back, or no, I haven't. It was 2019 that was my last fight, which is crazy saying that too. But I was trying to get fights during COVID, but nothing was happening. We were living in Thailand at the time, and so it was we were lucky because like we could be outside, we could still train Muay Thai, and we talked to our family and friends who were here in New York during COVID, and I feel like we got it pretty good out there. And although I wasn't able to find any fights, I realized I remember I was doing a hard sparring session, and I just got like clipped. And when you get clipped and like you get rattled, usually my reaction would be, all right, let's fucking go. Like I'm gonna get you back, right? But that time I was just like, I didn't like that. I didn't like that. And I remember thinking that I'm like, oh, that's not good that I reacted like that. Like if I react like that in the ring, like that's trouble. And
Mm-hmm.
so I sat with that for a while, and also for my reasons why I was fighting, because you know you don't fight for the money. Like you barely make anything doing Muay Thai. And so I felt like at that point, I did the amount of growth that I felt like was valuable as a fighter in the sport. And I was going to turn my attention to my relationship, to my family, and to my business. And so after that, we moved back to the States. We started a family, been focusing more on business. We hosted retreats. I teach a couple times throughout the week, you know, nothing too crazy. I have a bunch of online programs, of online mentorship programs that I'm trying to help other entrepreneurs and martial artists and fighters make money online, because I know as a aspiring amateur fighter, even pro fighters, like you, it's
Mm-hmm.
really hard to make a living. And I
Oh,
feel
I
like
know.
if people were able to utilize online marketing and online business, that they'd be so much better off. And I want to be able to kind of pass on what I've been able to learn. And so that's
Man.
my main pivot right now, where I'm going towards. I'm still teaching Muay Thai online. I have a bunch of at-home Muay Thai programs, my heavy bag blueprint, which was actually essentially, I have the 3.0 version now. The first version was what I created for myself for that MSG title fight, and now it's so much fucking better. I'm very proud of
That's
that one.
awesome.
And yeah, so now I'm just trying to enjoy life. I'm almost after fighting, man. It's been hard to really find the right way to redirect all that energy, and so I'm still learning, but hopefully I'm doing better each day.
Sean, you're an absolute legend, man. And I think a lot of men and women can learn from your story. You know, I think you know, everybody talks about I want to do. I dream of being a business owner, or I dream of fighting for a living, or doing content for a living, right? And a lot of people don't want to put in the work to, or the consistent discipline to achieve that end result. And you did it, man. You did it.
Thank you.
You're
It,
proof, you're living proof that you did it. So that means that anybody can do it. And I love that you're helping other entrepreneurs and other fighters, because, man, I do the same thing, man. When I'm not interviewing people, I help fighters just like you, man, just like you, all over the world with their finances, right? I want to make sure that you guys are all set up for when you guys retire. You guys don't have to worry about a damn thing, right?
because that's a whole that's like a whole forgotten area of
Yeah.
like the fight world, you know, because you see like if you're fighting on TV, people assume you're rich, but most guys who fight on TV are not.
No.
And like you get paid for the fight, but you don't get paid for anything in between.
Mm-hmm.
Insurance is a whole other fucking thing, right? And
Yep.
then being able to like prove income for good credit, and you name it. Like there's so many unknown things that I feel
Yes.
like don't get talked about as a pro athlete. That I mean, as a pro baseball player or whatever, like yeah, you're getting fucking paid. As a fighter, it's I
It's a
mean,
whole different story.
you're not doing it for money. But if you want to do it well, if you, in my opinion, if you want to do it well and live well, and not be one of the washed up fighters without money, without a job, without anything after. And it's sad and it's so tragic whenever I see that. But that's a majority. Like after you're done fighting, that's all your skills that you've been able to develop. And maybe you open up a gym, maybe you personal train and that kind of stuff. And that's great. And you can do that. And you can even make that more scalable with online business now. But most people don't even
Sure.
know how to do that. And so I just want to be able to be an advocate for people utilizing social media
For
and
sure, man.
online
Oh,
business
man.
to like to benefit themselves and the others around them by actually getting paid their worth. And it's crazy. Fighters put their fucking lives on the line doing this shit. A guy died not too long ago fighting in Thailand, maybe like a month ago, 30
Mhm.
years old, right? Or 31 years old, first Muay Thai fight. as like a bucket list thing, and he just fucking dies. It's crazy. And
It
so
happens. I mean, I do, I know you deal with a lot of Muay Thai fighters. I deal with a lot of pro boxers and pro wrestlers in my area. I'm in Orlando. But recently, 3 weeks ago, close friend of mine who's been wrestling for like 15 years was in a show in New York, and he just died from a spot. He was doing a body splash, landed the wrong way, cardiac arrest right there and then
man,
died in the ring.
it's crazy because you kind of have to like turn a like blind eye to it as an athlete and as a fighter, because like, yeah, you kind of know that you're going in there, and when I would fight, it's like I'm willing to die, right? You kind of have to have that mindset, but when it actually happens, it's like, holy shit, like, is it actually worth it? Is it actually worth all this? And so there's a lot to it. I love the fight game because of the layers that are involved with it and the different aspects that you have to consider, because you don't play fighting, you don't play
Exactly.
this kind of sport. And so although there's inherent risk in any sport, fighting is just different.
It really is. It really is. Sean, man, I could literally be here for another hour or two just shooting the shit here with you, but I do have another interview I got to catch up on. But we do have to schedule a part two to this, because I think there's so many more questions I have to ask you, because what you're doing is something that's not being done. You understand that, right? What you're doing right now, nobody is doing. And you have something that is helping so many people, and people that are in the combat sports world, either be an MMA fighter, Muay Thai fighter, pro, doesn't matter. What you're doing for those men and women, you're changing lives, my friend.
Thanks, man. I It's encouraging to hear that sometimes, because a lot of times online there's a disconnect, but I'm always so grateful to be able to talk to people, do these types of interviews, and just kind of reaffirm that, all right, I'm on the right path. I
You are.
appreciate the love so much. And yeah, I appreciate you having me on here, and we
Oh
had a
man,
good
it's
time.
been my pleasure. We're gonna have to schedule a part two, because again, I think we were just scratching the surface. We were just simmering. We weren't even cooking yet.
Yeah.
I think we need to get to the cooking part and dive in a little deeper into that. But I'll definitely hit you up on Instagram. I'll shoot you over a DM. We'll get connected, and we'll talk a little bit more over the phone and things like that. But man, I really appreciate your time, Sean. Plug in your socials and your YouTube one more time before we head out, so that way the people can follow you and follow your journey and follow everything you're doing with Muay Thai Guy.
You got it. Just check out muaythai.com. That's probably the best way to go. And then all my socials are pretty much the Muay Thai guy. And yeah, we're excited about our upcoming retreat in Costa Rica in 2026. So just you can check out muaythaivacations.com for that. And then I have a bunch of programs and everything as well. And if you train at home, if you're someone who's just trying to improve themselves through the art of Muay Thai and martial arts, then my programs were like made for you, and like made for fighters too. Fighters take it as well, but I know how it is for like us, well, everyone who works 9 to 5 and has family and responsibilities, how tough it is to be able to squeeze in enough time or show up to the right classes. And so these programs are a perfect fit for people who are busy, crunch for time, but still want to hit and fucking kick shit and get in good
Hell
shape while
yeah.
doing it.
Hell yeah, Sean, you're an absolute legend. You're absolutely killing it. And mi gente, make sure you guys keep an eye out for part two, because we're definitely scheduling a part two here on Millions on Gonzalez Media TV. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you give me that follow on Instagram, Facebook, and on TikTok at Jose G Official. And subscribe to the channel at Gonzalez Media TV. And subscribe to Muay Thai Guy on
Let's do
YouTube.
it.
Like I said, incredible content over there. I appreciate you, Sean. Thank you for joining me, bro.
You got it.
Have
Thank
a
you.
good one. Take care, guys.